While the loopers are fighting against the bug invasion, the Dark Presence is already preparing to strike first. The big question is, what exactly is it planning? And why could this final season's storyline turn out to be one of the most important in all of Fortnite's history? Things on Oninoshima are getting weirder by the day. The infestation has completely taken over the island, its grip tightening with every passing day, but it's becoming obvious the bugs aren't the true threat after all. We have no idea what's coming next, and that's the most dangerous part. I'm pretty sure anyone who just jumped back into Fortnite this season has no clue what's going on. Bugs? Daigo? Spirit Realm? Yeah, I get it. It's a lot. So here's a quick recap before we figure out what's coming next. Chapter 6 kicked off when it to them, but local clans banished the demons to the Spirit Realm and sealed the gates. Everything stayed quiet until that shard hit and shattered the seal. Suddenly, demonic energy started leaking out again. That's when two big threats showed up, the mysterious Shogun and the possessed Night Rose. The darkness from the Spirit Realm wasted no time snatching up the fallen shard, because it holds insane power. Trying to stop the nightmare before it spread, the Demon Hunter family, Jade, Kendo, and Daigo, teamed up with Jonesy and Hope, who had arrived searching for the shard. Daigo, the cocky older brother, decided to fight the Shogun alone, and actually won. Knowing the shard wouldn't be easy to protect, Hope and Midas, who somehow also ended up on Oninoshima, launched a secret vault project. Drunk on his victory over the Shogun, Daigo fell under the mask's influence, became possessed, and joined the side of darkness. All last season, he drained the island's life force to open a gate for the Dark Presence itself. Loopers managed to stop him temporarily thanks to the Supernova Hero program, which awakened after the reality pulse. But even though we won that fight, the damage was already done. The Dark Presence's blood seeped into the ground, awakening a swarm of demonic bugs. And in this fight, our biggest ace is an organization called OXR, led by the mysterious Onyx Winter. If you listen closely to the new in-game dialogues, you'll learn this isn't the first bug invasion the island's faced. OXR has been around for centuries, and I've got a feeling Epic's about to dig up a few more lore holes while they're at it. Still, thanks to OXR, Jones and Hope discovered something huge. The bugs can slip into the Spirit Realm through special access points, bypassing the main gates entirely. Now the island's rescue team is figuring out how to use that same trick to infiltrate the Spirit Realm and reclaim the 0-point shard before the darkness can weaponize it. But the Dark Presence isn't just sitting back. Hope can sense something terrifying brewing inside the Spirit Realm. It's starting to feel like darkness is planning a massive strike on Oninoshima. Epic even dropped a ton of hints about what's coming next, and I'm thinking we break all that down in a separate storyline video. As always, whether that happens depends on you. So if you want to know what Jones and Hope are plotting, where Midas disappeared to, what those new portals popping up across the island are, and how to find the 0-point vault, drop a like and hit the comments to keep the channel going. So how did it all come to this? Let's break it down. That's when Daigo realized he was the only one who could save Jade from the Spirit Realm. That moment kicked off the Demon Hunter's final event, where Daigo faced off against Shogun X, a demon sent to drain the island's energy. But Daigo, the man of 1,000 masks, won the fight, and brought his sister back from the Spirit Realm. But here's where it gets crazy. While saving Jade, they discovered the actual 0-point shard had landed inside the Spirit Realm. And after that, Daigo snapped. He got obsessed with getting it back, convinced only he had the strength to use its power, and his low-key insane plan to break into the Spirit Realm. That's where it all started. Daigo teamed up with Fletcher Kane, the furry baron, supplying him gold. Turns out, that gold was meant to repair an ancient magical mask, and once he brought it back to life, everything changed. The mask started glowing with dark energy, pulsing like it was alive, and then it started whispering. Not just creepy sounds, full-on words, the one that keeps echoing. No one really knows what it means, but it's clear this mask is tied to something way bigger and darker than anyone expected. Whatever Daigo unleashed, it's not done yet. Turns out Asumodesu isn't just some creepy noise from the mask. It's the Japanese word for Asmodeus, a powerful demon. Anyone who dares put on that ancient cursed mask, they risk getting possessed by Asmodeus himself, even Dago. And what did Dago do? He pushed forward anyway. He made it all the way to Magic Mosses, started draining energy from the Spirit Realm portal using that cursed mask, and began blasting beams of pure dark energy straight into the sky. Each time he did, a strange purple rift would open for a few seconds. Not a normal rift, but something new, something twisted. Almost like the sideways cracks we've seen before, but different. Even Jade was worried. She said Daigo had seen a darkness in the Spirit Realm, and he thought he could fight it alone. But she warned, if he tries, it's gonna consume him. And guess what? She was right. April 22nd hit, and we got a quest. Stop Fletcher Kane before Dago dives into the portal. We tried, but it wasn't enough. At that very moment, Dago unleashed a final blast of dark energy, shattered the barrier guarding the Spirit Realm, and vanished through the rift with his shard blades, ready to face the darkness. But the big question remains, why? Why go through all this? What is Dago really after? From the very start of this chapter, the Dark Presence was already holding a 0-point shard. And turns out, Daigo's secret mission all along, it wasn't just about flexing power. It was about reclaiming that shard and saving Oninoshima. But once he stepped into the Spirit Realm, everything flipped. The Dark Presence used the Puppeteer mask to corrupt his soul, turning Dago into a full-on demon. And as if that wasn't enough, the portal's energy started drawing attention from, yeah, you guessed it, the Death Star. We learned all this thanks to Big Dill and Brat, who straight up broke into the Thousand Faces shop. Inside, portraits of Jade, Kendo, and even their whole trio, but most importantly, a demonic mask on display. Then they find a copy of Daigo's mask, slap it on, and boom, flashback time. We see the moment Dago crossed into the realm, only to get swallowed up 5 seconds later. Look closer, and you'll spot golden energy taking over his body, something that's been building since Chapter 6 kicked off. We saw it during the Season 1 event, then it dominated last season gold, hinting at a higher rank in the demon hierarchy. Daigo's mask literally mutates, and his body is now fused with even more masks, sealing his new identity, the Mask Maker. His once glorious kintsugi armor melts and turns blood red. Daigo stepped through the portal and walked straight into a trap. Waiting on the other side, that same puppeteer who once controlled Night Rose now took over Dago. That's when the Mask Maker was born, a twisted version who somehow found a way to return to our island. Remember when Big Dill dropped that mysterious shop on the map? Yeah, that was Demon Dago creeping back in. And that explains why, during the Star Wars live event, another portal suddenly reopened in the mountains. While the whole island was caught in a galactic battle between the Empire and the Resistance, the Death Star locked onto Oninoshima. Palpatine? He didn't just want destruction, he wanted the island's loot. So he sent in Darth Vader, Captain Phasma, and legions of stormtroopers to take it. But Resistance fought back, led by Leia Organa, and with a plan to strike back hard. Hope and Jones led a Looper strike team right into the Death Star, pretending to be prisoners and guards to sneak inside. They reached the ship's core systems, sabotaged the shields, and gave their pilots a shot at blowing it up from the inside. But while they were escaping, boom, Palpatine shows up. Yeah, the Emperor tried to end it all with one final blast of Sith lightning, but right when all hope seemed lost, Hope, the character, pulled out a rift, threw it down like a shield, and bam, teleported the entire team off the Death Star just in time.
How did you know that would work?
I didn't!
Well, good work back there.
And that's how it all ties together. As we flew away, we looked back, just in time to watch our squad blow the Death Star to pieces, but not without consequences. The explosion sent debris raining down onto Oninoshima, and one of the fragments slammed straight into the Spirit Realm portal. That triggered a massive shockwave, knocking us all unconscious. Luckily, Superman was already on his way. Alarmed by the Death Star's destruction, he swooped in and rescued a group of kids stuck inside a downed battle bus. But here's the twist. The explosion did something. Every kid on board now had superpowers, and us, still unconscious, but not for long. That's where Fortnite Super officially begins. And trust me, the real problems are just getting started. A new corrupted version of Dago has taken over the island. His old home, the peaceful Thousand Faces shop, is now a terrifying demon domain, guarded by demons wearing ancient power masks. At the top of that tower, Daigo himself. These masked soldiers have spread across the map, protecting strange spires that showed up overnight, and no one knows what they do. But let's be real, it won't be anything good. The dark force behind Daigo has realized something terrifying. Fortnite's not just one universe anymore. Since the end of 2023, we've seen millions of realities colliding at once, like the OG mode running parallel with this one. That's why we've got rifts in this season, and didn't have them back in Chapter 1 Season 4. Another world running at the same time? Lego Fortnite. Even there, the spires have started to appear, and Jones, who can now hop between realities, shows up in Lego form asking for help. Back in the main timeline, on Floating Island, we meet Core. You might remember her from Chapter 2, an assassin hired by the Imagined Order. But now, she's back, and working for Daigo. Mask Maker forged her a power mask, and she's helping the Demon of 1,000 Faces for a very tempting price. And if you want to help keep this story alive, just use my creator code PUNKED in the item shop. Seriously, it's the best way to support the channel. Now let's talk heroes. While the villains wage war on the island, Hope and Jones have built their own superhero academy. They brought in legends like Midas, and even a now liberated Night Rose as instructors. Oh, and Superman? Yeah, he brought in Robin straight from the DC universe. He's already handing out missions and putting rookies to the test with his Mythic grapple. A lot of people got theirs after the Star Wars event. See, when the Death Star exploded and that massive energy wave hit the island, Morgan was on the same battle bus that ended up blasting its passengers with powers. Each one got something different. Haley unlocked some kind of storm-fueled monster inside her. Synthwave synced with sound waves. Basically, Fortnite's own Lucio from Overwatch. Killswitch gained near-perfect aim by slowing down time. Light Rider figured out how to literally surf on glowing zero-point cubes like it's nothing. But Morgan, she unlocked something way beyond all that. Her powers were so strong they nearly killed her. No joke, early in the season, we saw a strange silhouette trapped between two realities. Like, half in our world, half in a twisted void straight out of Stranger Things. Turns out, that shadowy figure, that was Morgan Mist, stuck between dimensions because her powers were too unstable to fully contain. And saving her wasn't easy. Loopers had to sync energy across different zones on the island to bring her back. One wrong step, she'd be lost to the Dark Realm forever. That's how close it got. Morgan didn't just survive, she came back stronger. Strong enough that the Academy chose her to lead the new generation of heroes. You can see it in the key art. She's front and center, taking charge. No hesitation. Or, at least, that's how it looks. Because deep down, Morgan's still scared she's not enough. She doubts herself, constantly. But here's the twist. Hope believes in her. And if there's one thing we know about Hope, she doesn't say that lightly. She can literally see the future. So when Hope tells Morgan she's the one, it's not just motivation, it's a vision. A vision where Morgan leads the squad to take down Daigo, maybe even defeats him herself. Even Jonesy backed her up, and when that guy's on your side, you're probably doing something right. But Morgan's still not convinced. Even with Hope and Jones backing her, that self-doubt keeps creeping in. She's carrying all that power, and all that pressure, and deep down, she's scared she's gonna mess it up. It's not that she doesn't want to lead, it's that she's afraid she's not enough. But maybe that's exactly what makes her the one for the job. She's not pretending to be perfect. She's not chasing some superhero ego trip. She's just trying to hold it all together and still show up anyway. And if anyone on the team understands that kind of fear, that kind of quiet strength, it's Haley. Out of everyone, she gets it. Morgan Mist isn't just powerful, there's something different about her power. It's not just magic, it's darker. Not evil, not monstrous, just something ancient, something raw. And that's where she and Haley kinda mirror each other. Haley's got this beast inside her, straight up storm-fueled rage mode. When she transforms, it's all claws and chaos. But Morgan? Her energy isn't wild like that. It's sharp, controlled. like shadow magic with a purpose. She doesn't turn into a monster, she becomes something else entirely. And she's not running from it anymore. If anything, she's studying it. Obsessed with learning how her powers work. Her emote literally shows her flipping through books, decoding the darkness, like she's trying to outsmart the force inside her. And let's be honest, none of the heroes this season really have control yet. Every single one of them just unlocked their powers in that bust blast, and now they're scrambling to figure it all out. That's why Night Rose is here. She's the one training them. Former lieutenant of the Spirit Realm, battle-tested, stronger than Kendo and Hope combined back when she was possessed. She knows what she's doing. Each hero's got weaknesses. Even Killswitch said it. They're all learning. But once they've trained, once they've mastered their gifts, especially Morgan, they're gonna be broken tier, ready to face Dago head-on. And Morgan's abilities? Yeah, they're next level. She's got 2 mythic powers now. The Mist Gauntlets, which let her summon Raven Swarms, and her Cloak, which unlocks a whole new form. What makes it wild? These are the only 2 mythics in Fortnite that can be combined. When you activate both, you trigger the Mist Ascension, a power boost so insane it basically gives Morgan her final form. She floats longer, blasts harder, and taps into her full potential, the Darkfire form. That's when Morgan goes full legendary. But with that power comes curiosity, and that's where things... She might be the key to everything that's coming next. Morgan's curiosity isn't just a trait, it's a mission. That's why you always see her buried in books, flipping through arcane notes, decoding every bit of shadow magic she can get her hands on. She wants to understand what's inside her, not run from it. For Morgan, this fight isn't about power for power's sake. It's about control, about doing the right thing with what you've been given. And yeah, with her whole Shadow Queen vibe, you could totally imagine some kind of Fortnite plot twist where she goes rogue, but nah, not this time. Morgan's locked in. In fact, Fortnite already dropped a pretty heavy hint. One of the loading screens, if you unlocked it, literally shows the squad at full strength, getting ready to take the fight directly to Dago. Front and center, 3 of the most OP heroes this season. Hayley, mid-transformation, beast mode unleashed. Synthwave, completely tuned into her powers, like she's conducting energy with every move. And Morgan, not just powered up, full-on Darkfire Morgan, ready to ascend. If that's what the event delivers, if we really get to see them go all out against Dago, it's gonna be one of the wildest showdowns we've had in years. And that wraps up Morgan's arc, for now. But with how powerful she's become, and what's still waiting beyond the portal, something tells me this story's far from over. The only thing that might bring us any closer to solving these mysteries is the final scene of the Galactic Battle season. We saw a beam bursting out of the Spirit Realm, trying to shatter the Loop's bubble from the inside. And crazy part? This isn't even the first time we've seen it. Back in Chapter 6 Season 2, Dago was already firing those massive dark energy blasts into the sky, slowly breaking the Loop without us even realizing it. But the real question is, why is the Chapter 6 island even trapped in a reality bubble to begin with? But before I tell you, dear loopers, don't forget to use the best creator code in the multiverse. Speaking of multiverse, let's rewind to the Fracture event that kicked off Chapter 4. That's when the 0 Point teleported into an unknown reality. And based on everything we know, the reality bubble always follows the 0 Point. So now the question is, could it have landed in Reality 783? Let's remember, back in Chapter 3, the bubble and the island together made up Reality 0. It kept both islands stable and protected the 0, turning to its source. You know what they say? Everything goes back to where it came from. And maybe, just maybe, the 0 Point is slowly rebuilding itself from all the scattered pieces. And here's where it gets wild. Oninoshima? Yeah, it existed long before the Big Bang. My theory, when the 0 Shard arrived here, it created the reality bubble around the island as a defense mechanism, and it happened the moment it got dragged into the Spirit Realm. That actually makes a ton of sense. The Shard was totally defenseless after the demons captured it, so to avoid attention, it wrapped the island in a protective shield. This would also explain why Dago didn't just enter the Spirit Realm at the end of Lawless Season. He also started attacking the bubble itself, trying to weaken it. Why? To help the Empire breach the defenses of Oninoshima faster. And it gets even deeper. Daigo might have predicted that fragments of the Death Star would crash into the portal and unleash the demon domain. I'm basing this on Chapter 2, Season 8, where we learned the spirit realm can literally see the future. Bottom line, what's next? Now, some players are speculating that the protective dome over the island isn't a loop bubble at all, just the natural atmosphere of Reality 783. Personally, I'm not buying that. We've got confirmation from Chapter 4 that island wasn't inside a bubble, and the reason was simple. The 0 point used to forge weapons. Remember those mysterious panels Jonesy used to summon the greatest hunters from across all realities? Well, who knows what purpose they'll serve in Chapter 6.